Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, we are back with another video. And in today's episode, guys, Genesis chapter 6, let's get into it. Chapter 6. When men began to multiply on the face of the ground, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and they took to wife such of them as they choose. So, when men began to multiply on the face of the ground, so that comes like everyday average Joe, just normal men. Um, and daughters were born to them, right? So when average normal men, not divine beings, not angels, not anything like that, they're just normal men, and they had daughters. The sons of God. So the sons of God are fallen angels. This actually gets debated a lot in different sectors of uh, Christianity, um, and obviously outside of it too. They use it as a point against the Bible. But the sons of God here, they were talking about specifically fallen angels. Um, Now, were they angels that were in heaven and they defied and they went against God and they undermined him? Um, or maybe they were sent down to earth to try to help the corrupt world? I don't know. But these sons of God, we know, for whatever reason why they were sent down, these are angels we're talking about for the sons of God. Um, so the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair. So they saw the daughters of the normal men, they liked them, and they took to wife such of them as they choose. And one of the biggest reasons why you could tell that they're different is because if the sons of God were just normal men, why would they have to specifically say the sons of God? Right? Because in the beginning, it's when men began to multiply, and then the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, the daughters of men. So these are divine. These are angels we're talking about. Okay, so that's really important. So men multiplied; they had daughters. The angels, they were fallen angels. They're on this earth. They chose them, the daughters of normal men. And it says, and they took to wife, saw that the daughters of men were fair, and they took to wife such of them as they choose. Then the Lord said, quote, my spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh, but his days shall be 120 years. So my spirit shall not abide in man forever. So obviously he's clearly differentiating it, right? His spirit is in angels. Not, it's supposed to be in angels only angels, not man. But the only way that his spirit could become in man is if the angels married the woman or had sex with the woman and they multiplied from a normal human being woman to a divine being, an angel. So my spirit shall not abide in man forever. He differentiated. He's like, man is supposed to be man, for he is flesh only. But his days shall be 120 years. So whenever these fallen angels had sex and they multiplied with normal everyday human beings, men's daughters, that did not please the Lord. He did not like that. And he kind of nerfed how long human beings could live, right? Because before this, remember Noah, 500 years, Lamech, 669 years, whatever it is. Methuselah, 969 years. These people lived for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, but not no more. He said, nope, shall be only 120 years. And, and even to this day, right? Like, I think the oldest person that I've ever read was I think 107, I think, or something like that, 106. And by that time, they were like already, they needed extra supplies to help them, maybe breathing help, blood fusion, or whatever it might be. But yeah, so then it says, verse 4, the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. So the Nephilim is a word that would describe the result of an angel having sex with the daughter of a normal man, just having any everyday normal daughter girl. These were the mighty men that were of old, the men of renown. So obviously, because you got to think about it, right? It's like the woman herself was normal, but she's having intercourse and sex and babies with a person who's the divine, who's an angel, who is a level above a human being, right? So their offsprings would be greater than a normal human being. Probably have some might be super tall, 12 feet tall. Some might be, strong. Some might be super intelligent. Some might be, regardless of whatever it means, they're a level above, you could say, a normal everyday man. And it's also interesting. It says the Nephilim won the earth in those days and also afterwards. So, obviously Noah's flood is coming really soon, but the Nephilim, that could see like the Nephilim were there at the time we're talking about, and then after a couple of generations after that. But because when we're talking about the Nephilim, we're talking about superficial human beings, right? We're talking about somebody that was probably, the Nephilim describes a special type of being. So if it's saying that we're on those earth in those days and afterwards, we're talking about what afterwards, as in like, is it to this day? Can we find superhuman beings to this day? Obviously we don't, right? We could see like a LeBron James, like 6'9", 270, freak athlete, but it could be talking about that. I don't know, but it's interesting. But so then it says, the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So remember, even if we go back to chapter 5 of Genesis, remember what happened with Enoch, right? Remember, even at that time, the earth was very corrupted with human beings. Man was very corrupt, and it says, the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And whenever he saw Enoch, remember Enoch only lived like 300 something years, right? Every other people before him and after him, their family, because they're all the same lineage of Seth, they were living hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, right? Having multiple sons and daughters. But for Enoch, he only had one child, and then he walked with God, and God took him. Remember, he was like 395 years or something like that. God took him from this world. He took him from this earth because he was so righteous. He never experienced physical death. And so even before this, the time was very corrupt. The earth was very corrupt. Human beings were very sinful, very bad people. It's not a time you'd want to live in. And it's true to this day at this point when we're talking about the Bible. So, and the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved into his heart. So he's probably looking at human beings and he's like, this is my creation. I created you guys. Y'all are a lineage that have gone through multiple generations, and you've all multiplied in so much different ways, and you each have your own families and whatever it might be. And you guys are so corrupt. I didn't make you to be like this. I don't want you to be like this. This is sad. You're murdering innocent people. You're probably raping girls. You're probably raping little girls. You're probably kidnapping people. You're probably murdering, beheading human beings just to kill them. You're stealing people's food. You're probably hunting animals not for food consumption, just to kill them, right? It's a very evil place, and the Lord is looking down on them and saying, it says it right here. The Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth. So it was so bad, it was so corrupt, that he looked down at his creation and he felt sorry for what he made. Like, think about that, right? And it grieved him to his heart. So verse 7. So the Lord said, quote, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the ground, man and beast and creeping things and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. So that's pretty, you know, the Lord in his mind, he's saying it. I'm done. It's too bad. It's too corrupt. Just remember how with the sons of God, he could have the fallen angels. Maybe it was so corrupt. He's like, look, I'm going to send some angels. Hopefully they can make the world a better place. Or there were angels that fell from heaven because they went against God and they defied God and they tried to undermine him. Whichever way it was, right? I could do some more research on it. I know in the New Testament, uh, I think it talks about this a bit more, but from reading at it, like what I'm reading right now, it's two options. But for a fact, though, the sons of God were divine human beings. They were. I guess divine is like a good thing. They were angels, right? They were angels, but they were bad angels. Um, but yeah, he's at this moment, the Lord is looking at the earth and he's like, look, I need to wipe this all out. It's too bad. Every single body, nobody will be spared. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. So it says, verse 9, these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God. Remember the last time in the Bible we talked about somebody who walked with God, and that was Enoch. A very righteous man. A man that the Lord blessed himself. That same thing with Enoch and Noah. They both live in a generation where it was very corrupt, very bad, very evil, very wicked, and God saw that they were a beacon of light in a very dark and dangerous and scary world. So Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God. And Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way upon the earth. And God said to Noah, quote, I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside out with pitch. This is how you are to make it. The length of the ark 300 cubits, its breadth 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark, and finish it to a cubit above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. For behold, I will bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh in which is the breath of life from under heaven. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark. You, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark, to keep them alive with you. And they shall be male and female. Of the birds according to their kinds, and of the animals according to their kinds, of every creeping thing of the ground according to its kind. 2 of every sort shall come to you, to keep them alive. Also take with you every sort of food that is eaten, and store it up, and it shall serve as food for you and for them. Noah did this. He did all that God commanded. So, if we go back real quick, it says, God chose Noah, right? God chose Noah as the man that will, you could say, be saved and save humanity, right? Because the world is so corrupt, the world is so evil. God says the only way, think about this, it is so bad that the only way God can fix it is by murdering everybody. Not murdering, but killing everybody and removing all flesh. Nobody can survive. That is how bad it is. That's how corrupt it was, right? Like even if we look at with Cain, right? Cain murdered his brother Abel. God gave a punishment to Cain, and God talked to Cain about it. But this is so bad that he said, "There's no more talking. I gotta wipe it all out. We have to restart fresh." And he's restarting fresh with Noah and his family. So he told Noah, "You will make an ark." It's kind of like, if you think about it, it's the first yacht ever made. It's the first cruise ship ever made. Think about it. Um. And then so yeah. So he told him his specific measurements. You gotta make it this big. 30 cubits high, 50 cubits wide, 300 cubits length, I think, or something like that. Bring two of every animal, male and female, so they can reproduce. And it says, and take with you every sort of food that is eaten, and store it up, and it shall serve as food for you and for them, because God, like we're going back, God is going to create a flood to destroy all the wicked flesh on this earth, animals, humans, angels, everybody's getting wiped out. But Noah, his wife, his sons, and his son's wife, and all the animals of every kind, two of every kind, male and female. And he's like, store up as much food as you can, because you're gonna need it. And because and we'll go on, and it'll come on the next chapter. But he floods the earth with rain for 40 days, I believe. I think it's like 40 days, 40 nights, or something like that. But yeah, thanks to Noah and his righteousness, he saved humanity. Because after the flood, we'll see Earth begins to repopulate through Noah, or through Noah's descendants, right? Through Shem, Ham, Japheth. Um, so yeah, that's where we are so far. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me try to think real quick, up a couple of seconds. Um, yeah, I think that's it pretty much of the chapter. But yeah, those are the biggest things. I mean, that's things. That's the end of the chapter. Um, Hope you guys like it, and come back for chapter 7 to see what happens. So, peace.